G'day, Steel Nation. Welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. Got my Yinzer shirt on today. Feeling like a Yinzer. Feeling pretty good. Hope you guys are doing well out there in Steeler Nation all around the world. Australia, America, England, Mexico, wherever. Steeler Nation is massive. Now, yesterday I did a video talking about a live where Omar Khan was a bit more quieter, chilling, no big moves. Been a crazy... honest to goodness, been a crazy week for getting Fields, Queen, Wilson, punter, everything, right? Omar Khan is doing his job, signing players in to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, to get us in that position to hopefully go on a run again to win playoff games and a number 7. But at least give us a chance to have a quarterback number 1 that can play really good football. And yes, Kenny Pickett, I was a fan of him, but now he's done. See you later, mate. Catch you. Goodbye. You're wearing another uniform. I'm here to cheer on Wilson. I'm here to cheer on Justin Fields. But the topic I want to cover today is receiver, right? With these two quarterbacks, that being, by the way, I love this picture. Love it. Russell Wilson, let's get it. With these two quarterbacks, Wilson and Fields, they need receivers to throw to. They traded away DJ, and that was a good move. They now have Pickens, Calvin Austin, Van Jefferson. But in what order will they be? We know that Pickens will be number 1. Calvin Austin, I still want to see him explode and do some crazy things. I don't think he was used the right way in the Matt Canada offense. And actually, not many players were used the right way in the Matt Canada offense. So you've got Calvin Austin, Van Jefferson, those kind of guys there. There were a few other guys on the practice squad, Des Fitzpatrick, those kind of blokes, Marcus Callaway in there too, that might be able to have a good season or a good training camp and fight their way into be a 4th or a 5th. I reckon the Steelers will go with probably 4 or 5 receivers. One being a gunner. Do they go and sign back Miles Boykin? I wouldn't mind that to be the 5th receiver. Maybe you have Pickens. You go and get a 2nd. We'll talk about soon. Calvin Austin the 3rd. Jefferson will be the 4th, and then maybe Miles Boykin the 5th. That wouldn't be too bad of an idea to see. But the reason why you guys are here is to talk about who do I start with? Let's go with this guy. Rightio. So I saw this tweet, like you guys out there in the old internet land, and this is Brendan Aiyuk. You're talking about, I think that's how you pronounce it. Brendan Aiyuk talking about he tweeted at Coach Tomlin. They saying we twins. What you think with the eyes emojis? Now I'll be honest. I'll be very honest. It does look like Coach Tomlin. If that's a young Coach Tomlin with dreads, and also Coach Tomlin was a receiver too back in the day. So if that's a Coach Tomlin, that looks pretty much like him, eh? Looks very similar. Now, Brendan Aiyuk is a pretty good player with the 49ers. Of course, he had Deebo Samuels on his team too. He was like the number 2 on that team, but he's pretty physical. He can play receiver. He knows what's happening at that position. Not going to go into his stats, and you guys do. If you watch football, you know who Brendan Aiyuk is too. If you were to bring him into the Steelers team with Aiyuk on one side, Pickens on the other, the Calvin Austin the 3rd, being maybe a 3rd or 4th receiver, and then having Van Jefferson possibly in the slot, could be a cool play, and then go and get some more help into the draft by drafting a receiver. I think the next move the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to do is go and sign a free agent receiver. They kind of have to. They've got the safety now. He's pretty keen to be a Steeler. That's Elliott talking about why would you sign? He points to the logo and goes, that's why I signed. I signed because of the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? So this was tweeted by Brendan Aiyuk, Coach Tomlin. Hey, man, they're saying we twins. What do you think? Is he saying to Pittsburgh, please trade for me, make a deal, bring me to Pittsburgh, put me in the black and gold, and see what happens? I wouldn't be against it. The Steelers right now, I think, need a receiver too. If they get a receiver too who's very physical next to Pickens, this team with Russell Wilson, hopefully with a bounce-back year, could start to create damage into the playoffs. Just saying, right? So that's the first thing I want to cover. Now, the next thing I want to cover, and I'm leaving the best till last, I did see this tweet by, you might have known this bloke, Eli Rogers too. So I follow him on Twitter. He plays, I think, in the UFL, or has been the last few years. But he says here, if this is my last run as a professional football player, I'm ready to give my all with a team that gave me a chance to live out my dreams as a professional at Steelers. Now, I don't know if Eli Rogers is having a call out to the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? And when I went to Eli's stats, of course, he played in 3 seasons, and he started he's now age 31, so he's a bit up there in age, but he started in 2016. His last year was with the Steelers in 2018, played 3 seasons, 800 yards, 4 TDs, and 78 receptions. Now, the only reason I brought this up was because the fella's, trying to market himself to maybe talk to the Steelers to get a chance. I'm not saying there is a chance there, but he's almost creating his rumor to the Steelers, a bit like Le'Veon Bell does. Le'Veon Bell says, I'm going to be a Steeler, and the Steelers websites run with it. So I do wish this guy all the luck. I don't think the Steelers would sign him, to be honest. But the fact is, he's reaching out to the team saying, give me one last chance to be a professional, and he wants to play for the Steelers. And he could be maybe a 3 or 4. That might happen. That could be a big possibility. So I wish you luck, Eli Rogers. That would be cool to see. Now, the big news that I want to focus on is the new NFL network going around town. And that's this bloke, right? CTESPN Network, the most trusted news in all of sports. They said I had CTE, so I started my own network. Now, that is, of course, crazy Antonio Brown. You know what? As crazy as I think he is, I think part of it, he's playing it on purpose, to be honest. I think he's doing this on purpose to create the clicks, the drama, to create that brand, maybe the brand outside of football that is NB. I think he's playing a character. I don't know if he's that crazy. You can't be that crazy for the things that he actually tweets out. Anyways, from CT ESPN network, that's Antonio Brown has created his own network. We have here some breaking news. Breaking news is from yesterday. Source, breaking news, CT ESPN. Steelers and Vikings are still working on a Justin Jefferson trade. Both sides are working to get it done with some eye emojis and popcorn. Now, how much truth into this, I don't know. Does Antonio Brown know anything? Does Antonio Brown just spitting this stuff out there where, you know what, CTE ESPN is just like a makeup network and does rumors for clicks and that kind of stuff? Yes, 100%. But here's something cool. I wouldn't put it past, if this were true, I wouldn't put it past Omar Khan and this new Steelers to do it, because the reason being why I wouldn't put it past Omar Khan to go ahead and make the move is that they went and got Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. They traded away Deontay Johnson and they traded away Kenny Pickett. I feel like at this moment in time, if the money is right, anything can happen. They might trade away a first-round pick, a second next year, and have a massive trade with the Vikings to go and get Justin Jefferson. It could be a big idea happening, and maybe, just maybe, that Antonio Brown is one of the first people to break the news, and he has maybe insider because he's still an NFL player. He's a massive NFL player. He's got links to teams, to players, all those kind of things. Maybe he knows something we don't. He could be right. At this point in time, ever since the Russell Wilson trade and also the Justin Fields trade, Russell Wilson pickup and Justin Fields trade, I won't put it past the organization right now being a new Steelers to go and do something. If you can hear my mower at the background, I'm not stopping. I'm talking through the mower, right? Hopefully you guys can hear me. I wouldn't put it past Omar Khan at this point that anything can happen. There we go. Mower's out there. That's going to be my time to wrap it up. If you can hear me. Coach Tomlin, Brendan Aiyuk, do they look like twins? Yes, they do. Could that be a possibility? I hope so. Maybe he might be a Steeler. And the other one too could be Justin Jefferson trade being, will they get it done via CT ESPN? I've got the guys outside mowing my grass again, and I don't want to edit. So I'll see you guys later.